Hi folks, I am making a second video after a good response to the first one, and this time I'm going to be taking a look at some VZ singles that I ordered for help building some vintage decks. First of all though, I wanted to note that dealing with both VZ and BL was very easy. Again, both dealt with via email. I wound up with even a handful of extras from VZ, so that was pretty cool. The first thing I wanted to show is the difference in the back. This card is going to be our BL version, and this one is the VZ version. So I think in this case, this is from the Legacy 4.0. Again, a little bit less gloss and luster. This is definitely a slightly lighter print run, but there is still a bit more gloss. And that is something to be said that most of these vintage cards are from Vintage 3.0. Some of them probably from even older sets. And so there is a difference in the feel on some of them especially, but some of them are quite good. So I just kind of want to go through real fast. I will say that user Calculated Perversity has put up a great spreadsheet if you look back in the older threads. So shout out there. I agree with a lot of the assessments in terms of the coloration and the lightness, but let's take a quick look at some of the singles. So Demo Tutor, he threw in a beta in addition to the whiteboard that I requested. Here it's hard to really see, but there's a definite rosette pattern that you can see. Good printing otherwise, but very easy to miss, I think, especially since it's in play so briefly. Beta coloring on Wheel of Fortune is a little bit dark. I also ordered a whiteboarded version where it's similarly dark, but again, not too bad. The Black Lotus, this fourth dot, so there are 3 dots that you usually see on a beta card. It's rare to see the 4th dot, and the Lotus itself is a little purple. It's pretty dang close, but it's still, I mean, you wouldn't just whip out your beta Black Lotus. I think that this would definitely draw a lot of attention. City of Traders, this is the 3.0 version, so it's just a little bit glossier than the 4.0 that I've got now. Power 9, this grouping is a little bit glossy, so I'm not sure if this is 3.0 or 2.0, but the color on the printing itself is very, very good. If you look through the cards themselves, the coloring is very close to unlimited. There's some small typesetting errors that only somebody attuned to look for a fake would really notice. Again, rated green on Calculated Perversity's spreadsheet, not blue, but definitely strong. The blue spells a little bit darker, just a little bit, not too saturated blue, but just a little bit darker. I've actually owned Ancestral Time Walk and Time Twister, so I can say that they're pretty close to the original article, but there is definitely a small coloration difference. The nice thing is about those sorceries is that once people see the art, they kind of let it go after that. I think that these could pretty easily pass without a whole bunch of scrutiny. Candelabra, very good, a little bit high saturated, but still not bad, just a little dark, and that's going to be said about a lot of these. A little bit dark or just a hair yellow. Library of Alexandria, pretty darn close, but a little yellow. Yawgmoth's Will. This was one of the ones that drew my attention right off the bat. The contrast between the black color border and the actual card border is pretty high. So the black looks just a little bit washed out, but again, sorcery, speed, and a sleeve. I don't think a lot of people are going to say much. The revised Wheel of Fortune looks a good bit better in terms of the actual overall feel of the card than the beta one. Imperial Seal, a little bit saturated, but not too bad. I don't think it's unplayable by any means. Again, sorcery, speed, people see the art. It is a little bit yellow. That is, again, something that you see in a lot of these. Tabernacle, this thing looks great. Maybe a little bit darker and a little bit yellow, but again, I think excellent with a little aging, could probably pass. Flusterstorm, just like with the 4.0 Snapcaster Mage, looks pretty good. It looks a little bit more blue in this video than it actually is, but compared to the actual one, maybe a little bit of a difference in lightness, but pretty great. Moat, slightly yellow, slightly. I mean, Legends kind of has that more antiqued look in the white cards. but I'd say playable. I mean, it's not going to be quite as sort of bone pale as you might see on some of them, but overall not too bad. Bazaar. Now, I don't know if these are from older print runs or if these are from the new Mixed 4.0. They seem to have a slightly different feel. I might reach out to ask VZ about this. A little more yellow than actual Bazaar might be, but very close. Very close. I've actually also owned this card. I mean, I think I would not, unless I was playing in the Dredge Mirror, I don't think that I would be fooled. You know, I think it would definitely pass. Workshop. Mishra's Workshop is it's funny because the card is actually pink, but this has a slightly yellowish cast to it, slightly yellowish. Very passable. Again, pretty close to quality, unless you really have a bunch of them comparing them side to side. But dang close. It's a little dark, a little bit yellowish, but very happy with these. Mana Crypt. Wow, that looks exactly like Mana Crypt. It's an amazing reproduction. Totally great. Mana Drain. I mean, to me, this looks exactly like the Legends print. Again, the blues are just a teeny bit darker. Again, it comes into place so fast. The art is so iconic. It's so cool to own a playset of Mana Drain. Vampiric Tutor, slightly yellow, slightly dark, but again, very close to the actual Visions copy. Demonic Tutor. Notice the Unlimited. I think I still like the beta better because it's I don't know, the super bright white border makes it kind of stand out to me for some reason. That the art looks kind of dark and saturated. Blightsteel Colossus, great looking. In fact, all of the post Mirrodin artifacts are really great. Just looking at some of the ones from the Legacy 4.0 set, this does not disappoint. Blightsteel looks very good. I picked up 4 Mox Opal, which, as you can see, are also pretty dang fantastic. The art's great, the color of the border is great, very consistent within the set. Grim Monolith is one of the disappointments. If you take a look, I think this is from the older, you can really see the printed rosette pattern all over the card, whereas the actual card itself, it's a solid, you know, it's a nicer looking print. I mean, it could pass in a pinch. Again, in a sleeve, I have not sleeved any of these yet. It might pass. I would be very touchy about actually giving it a play, and it's not super vintage played anyhow. So I just thought I'd go ahead and grab a couple since they've gone up in price so much. But as you can see, just like that Demonic from the beginning, lots of that rosette. City of Brass from Antiquities, a little bit dark, but very true to the Antiquity City of Brass. Mana Vault. This looks like a beta Mana Vault. I asked for the best printed one, whatever the most recent one was. I said just give me the best print, and this is what I got. Notice here, there's no 4th white dot. There's a tiny bit of white in that corner, and I said this looks much more like a beta card. Fetches. I got a couple of Polluted Delta, which look pretty good. A little dark. Again, the clouding down here, not quite true to the actual card, but not bad. Scalding Tarn. Man, I should have gotten 4 of these guys. This is an incredible reproduction. I've definitely had Scalding Tarns and Misty Rainforest before, so I just like the older fetches, but that will teach me. I'm definitely going to get a couple more of these Zendikar fetches. Same with Flooded Strand, which I think is a little bit better than Polluted Delta, just a little bit. And then the 4 Mishra's Factory. Gonna definitely go with the previous review that says that they're a little bit purplish. Not bad, but definitely, you know, especially since this is the rarer one, it's going to stand out a little bit, but it doesn't look terrible. And then finally, Tolarian Academy, definitely a little purple, but at the same time, playable. I don't know. Within a sleeve, it's not going to draw a whole lot of attention from people who know what it is, and I definitely think that besides the purpleness, it's a pretty good quality reproduction. So I'll have to see what it looks like sleeved, and I'll try to post some pictures of that as we go along. So thanks for watching this. I hope it encourages people to supplement their collection. I'm definitely going to be ordering more from either Z or BL soon. So thanks for taking the time, and feel free to post your comments on Reddit.